Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. Again, your host here, Matthew Lochran, owner of Midtown West Media. And on today's episode, we have a great guest. We have Miss Elena Smith, the lead HR strategist from TPD. Elena, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Matthew.
Great to have you on. Elena, can you tell me a little bit about TPD and the types of customers that you guys help?
Yes, certainly. So TPD has been a North American provider of HR and workforce solutions for over 35 years. And so we work mostly with small and medium-sized businesses, providing them with HR solutions, with a focus really on trying to improve the engagement and effectiveness of their people, so ultimately to improve their business success. At the end of the day, what we're trying to do is help businesses optimize their effectiveness and engagement through better and more sound HR practices.
Okay, it definitely sounds like it could be quite a complicated subject as well. How did you actually get started in this type of field?
Actually, it's interesting because I didn't start in human resources. I started in marketing and ultimately business management. So I started in the advertising industry and then worked in a family business in manufacturing for 13 years, where I ultimately took over the role as the CEO. And we had operations in the U.S., in Canada, in Mexico, and we're doing manufacturing also in Asia. And, what impressed me were the endless challenges of people and building alignment, communication, and just getting the most out of the people. So I actually when I had young children, I took a couple of years out, and my successor in the CEO role, he was very focused on product and operations and found the people side really frustrating. So when I got re-engaged, I created a strategic HR role, and really what that was to work alongside the CEO in helping to improve the effectiveness of the people. So after leaving that, I joined TPD to build the HR Solutions division, which is where we are now. And my goal really was to help small businesses realize the impact that strategic HR can have on their business performance. I just found so many companies thought of HR as payroll, benefits, people problems, but it is so much more strategic and powerful role that can be played in impacting culture, operational effectiveness, and ultimately driving business results. So that's how I came to do what I'm doing now.
I noticed you have mentioned the word people quite a bit. And then just mentioning, it seems like, I guess attracting great people could obviously help in that department. Can you maybe shed some light on, what might be kind of maybe the most common obstacle, maybe preventing your clients from attracting great people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say attracting great people is one of the biggest challenges facing small and medium-sized businesses today. It's such a competitive market for really great talent, and those people that are really good, they really take it into, they're very, very astute in their approach to looking for their next career opportunity. So I would say it's very much a two-way interview process now. Candidates are interviewing an employer as much as you're interviewing them. And it's amazing to me how much time companies spend on positioning their branding, their products, their services to their customers. There's a lot of focus on the customer. And one of the biggest obstacles in attracting great people is a lot of companies overlook the importance of building and marketing their brand as an employer to people that they're trying to bring on to work with them.
Okay, so you mentioned employer brand, it sounds like, and that is definitely true because we interview a lot of business owners, and we do talk a lot about marketing, positioning for products and sales. This is one of the first times that I'm hearing the other side of the coin is, I need to really position myself as a leader to my employees and out to the market from that side of things to attract great people. So you mentioned that as kind of one of the obstacles, but how can business owners avoid or kind of overcome the obstacle of how to successfully attract those great people, I guess. What's kind of that pitfall?
Yeah. Well, I would say, we work with a lot of businesses on this process, and I think it's got to start with a business articulating what the organization does, why they do it, and how they do it. So at the end of the day, it's your vision, your mission, your values. What is it about your organization? And why would a rock star or potential employee of yours that's out there, why would they be attracted to that? Is that a story that you've managed to turn into sort of this compelling, exciting thing that they would want to become a part of? Do they believe in what you do? Do they relate to it? Do they share your values? Do they feel like this is going to be a really good fit for what they're wanting in their own career advancement? So I would start with articulating that vision, mission, values. The next piece really to look at is what do you have to offer to employees that are working there? One of the things that I would say millennials are looking for right now is career advancement and career growth. So are there opportunities for them to grow in your organization? Are there inspirational leaders? Are you going to support their new experiences, their new learning? Are they going to be able to have a flexible work schedule? Do you offer generous vacation? What's the culture like? The people that they're going to be working with? So capturing all of that in a way that you can present a full picture of what your employee offering is if they were to come and work for you. And then the next thing to think about is how do you get this message across? Because quite often you'll get to those details when you're at the point of writing an offer. But when someone is looking for a job, they're starting to go to websites. They're looking at what your employees are saying about you. They're looking at reviews that are being written about you. And those are the places earlier on in their process where you want them to start to see what are the great things about your organization, even as they're doing their own research before you even start talking to them. So what does your website do for your brand? For customers, as well as your career page, what does that do to brand you as a company to work for? What are your employees saying about you? And what are the things that you have to offer? And put that really at the forefront. And then I would say developing a really efficient and structured recruiting process, because these great people, they go really fast. You're guaranteed not the only company they're looking at. And so you need to have a really effective process so that when you feel like you found one of those rock stars, that you can move them through your process of making sure your assessment is right and get them on board before someone else snaps them up. I would say that's one of the biggest ones. We've had a number of companies where they've found a great person, they're just about to make them an offer, and they get that email or call saying, thanks for meeting with me, but I have just accepted another offer, which is so frustrating when that happens.
Absolutely, I can imagine. Mm-hmm. You mentioned a few things there in that response. I guess one thing that you mentioned was millennials. Mm-hmm. So as an HR strategist, and we're talking about attracting great employees, is there a difference with maybe what the wants and needs are of today's workforce compared to maybe 10 years ago? I know it's probably a common question that comes up with business owners you might speak with as well.
Yes, I would say, there are some, and I would say some of the things that are key for, millennials is this career advancement. They want to be successful. They want to become really good at what they do, and they have an expectation, sometimes maybe not as realistic, to move fast in their careers. So one of the things to look at is career advancement. And to keep in mind as an employer, it's not just about moving people up the organization quickly. Part of that can be sideways, just where they're learning different aspects of the organization, but they want to feel like they're continuing to grow. So I would say that would be a really big one. And then I would say, for other people, one of the other things that you're seeing amongst other profiles in the workforce is the importance of flexibility. The ability to sometimes work from home, to have more flexible schedules to be able to deal with the needs of their families and their home life, but also be, making sure that they keep up the responsibilities with their employer. So I would say those are some of the key ones. And in both cases, or all cases, really feeling like they're a part of something that they believe in, that gets them excited, that they can relate to what the organization is doing and the values of the company and how things are conducted.
Great. And then you did mention something else in that response as well that I just wanted to follow back up with. You mentioned, it's a two-way interview process now, really. So you mentioned something called an employer brand. Now, if I'm a job applicant or I'm looking for a job, I'm going online searching for information, because again, a lot of our audience is small and medium-sized business owners. So is there maybe one place they can help better their brand? Is there a website that helps them out with that? Do they need a career page? What is maybe just a fairly quick answer on that one for me too?
Yeah, I would say both of the ones that you've mentioned are really important. That their website conveys the company that they would want to be a part of, as well as that on the career page that you really are showcasing what the benefits are of working for you, and then that it's a really easy process. When they get to your career page, it's a really easy process for them to actually get to the point of having an interview. So looking at your process as well.
So if you're sitting down with a business owner, right, and you're having a conversation with them, I would maybe ask you to say, what do you think would be the most important thing, if you can boil it down, because I know this is a very complicated process as you're talking about. What would be the most important thing that a business owner should be thinking about if they really want to attract that great person or that great rock star, as you put it, to the organization?
I think at the end of the day, it's why would someone want to work with you? And it's not just about a salary. It's not going to just be about what you're going to pay them and that then they have a duty to do the job. You really have to go so much beyond that. What is their whole experience going to be like working with you? And how can you excite them with that? And sometimes it's a story and how you articulate that. And sometimes an employer has to actually look in the mirror and say, what is this place really like to work for? Am I really offering people and providing people with a great experience? There's always work to do, but there's a work environment that can be so much more engaging than others. And so I think to really look in the mirror, one of the things which we do with a lot of companies is we'll do it through an engagement survey or through serving their current employees, is understand what are the things that other existing employees feel are great reasons to work there. And sometimes they'll be the ones to help identify those sort of cultural nuggets that you want to go out and share about this is why this is a great place to work. Because at the end of the day, if you can get that great employee on board, you also need to make sure that you can deliver that their experience is really going to be what you promised them.
So it sounds to me like sometimes the employer needs to really kind of take a look in the mirror and really ask themselves, what is really great about my company in the work environment? How can we, magnify that to attract the type and level of talent that we really want in this organization? Would that be pretty accurate?
Yes, absolutely. And sometimes that can be, you can get right out there and put a message out there, and sometimes other elements of it can take, we work with clients we can work with clients for a while in helping them to really shape that so that real experience is what they want it to be. It's not just a vision of what we want their employee experience to be, but they really are able to deliver that. And that can be challenging and take a real commitment from an employer to get to that point within their organization. And that we work with a lot of people through that process.
It sounds like this would be quite almost like a diagnosis process if I kind of, put this in the medical world per se, where you're almost coming in as a physician and diagnosing, problems inside a company and how they can go ahead and fix those, through better HR practices. So I guess keeping that in mind, if someone were, our listeners wanted to go ahead and reach out to you, Elena, or wanting to get some more information, about you and your services and TPD, what is the best process for them to go ahead and do that?
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting that you refer to it as a diagnosis. We actually have something that we call an HR Smart Scan, and which is really like a CAT scan for a business, where we go in and we look at all of the different elements that contribute to that organizational effectiveness. We look at performance management, communication structures, all sorts of different areas. And so that's something which we actually do for companies often when we start working with them. I would say I certainly would be very happy if ways that we can help people, if there is any interest in either visiting tpd.com, so that is tpd.com, or calling 1-888-685-3530. That's 888-685-3530, and can reach me, and I'm very happy to chat. I love talking to companies about what they want to do, what their challenges are. So very happy if anyone's interested in talking a little further. Would be very happy to do so.
Great. Elena, I just really want to appreciate you coming on the show today and taking the time out of your busy schedule, helping all these small, medium-sized businesses with attracting better talent and, keeping that talent once they have them. So, again, really appreciate it, and I'm glad, our audience was able to go ahead and hear this information as well, because, again, they are all small, medium-sized business owners. They all have similar problems, but unique to their own organizations, and it sounds like your service could be tailor-fit to whatever their needs are. So
Thanks,
definitely
Matt.
appreciate you.
Yeah, it's been. I really appreciate the opportunity, and thank you for having me.
Okay, you have a great day.
You too.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.